Hi, everyone. This is Faith Howard Mooney, VP of Member Engagement at the Mortgage Collaborative. And I am so lucky today to have with me for this segment of Inside the TMC Family, someone that I love when we get back together in person. I'm naturally drawn to spend time with her, so I'm excited to talk with her today. Sarah Gonzalez, COO of First Guarantee Mortgage. Good morning.
Good morning, Faith. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, and we found out today, everyone, that we have something else that we love in common outside our industry. We both are holding these Ray Dunn mugs. So for you Ray Dunn lovers out there, we'll have to join you for coffee some morning together. So pretty fun that we found out that we have that love in common. So kind of silly. Going to get started today. 5 quick questions, getting to just know you a little bit better so that the people that haven't had a chance to meet you, but they hopefully will in Terranea in September, just get a chance to know you a little bit better and the things that are important to you. So let's get started. Tell me about what your first job ever was.
Oh my. My first job ever was at the age of 15, and I got a job about half a mile from school so that I could walk there, and it was the infamous Dairy Queen there in where I grew up. So it's interesting being 15 and working, and I worked from that point on in my life, but yeah, it was Dairy Queen. I think it lasted maybe a year.
Oh, that's pretty good for a first job. We hear a lot of that from time to time, McDonald's, Dairy Queen, some of those food service industries. So do you like ice cream still or no?
I like ice cream, like real Bluebell, like real ice cream, and I don't even know if Bluebell's real, but I'm not really a fan of the soft serve anymore.
Exactly. Usually goes one way or the other after you had to serve it. Tell me a little bit about how you got into this industry?
Oh my goodness. I'm probably going to answer like everyone else by accident, of course. I was working at a printing company where I would deliver a lot of like the paper goods to the folks that were requesting like business cards, letterhead, things of that nature. And one of the companies that I used to deliver to was this mobile home lot in Kaufman, Texas. And they would, every single time I would go in, they would say, come work for us. And I would say, no. And eventually I said yes. And so my mortgage career, believe it or not, started on a mobile home lot in Kaufman, Texas. Processing files for borrowers trying to buy a manufactured home.
Oh my gosh. So they finally wore you down. I think that happens to a lot of us in the industry. That's how we got in, is we knew somebody and they kind of asked you until you finally just said yes.
Well, part of the reason why I said yes was, okay, well, you're obviously not going to stop asking me. So how much are you going to pay me? And then it was like, okay, yeah, I'm coming.
Awesome. When you started your career back then, what's the one thing that you wish that you would have known?
Oh, I took a lot of positions in my career out of just pure someone looking for me versus me looking for something else. I think that's worked out fine for me in my career, but if I were to give advice to my younger self, I would certainly open up opportunities to say, there's plenty of opportunity to learn, there's plenty of opportunity to, move up. And I think, looking back on those days, and again, it's a testament to the work I did as far as being asked to come to a company, because it wasn't just that incident. It was, check back then and then countrywide and so forth and so forth. But, I would have told myself, go after more, right? Don't settle for what you're doing today. Like try try to raise yourself up just a little bit more. Now I think I've done very good,
Yes, you have.
based off of, where I'm at in my career and in my life. But who knows what would have happened if I had done that. Just reach out for a little bit more opportunity and learning experience. So
I think many of us didn't know in the beginning that we should be managing our own career.
yeah,
Uh,
that's a
yeah,
great way to put it. Yeah. Instead
yeah,
of letting someone else kind of
yeah,
lead the way, give yourself choices.
yeah.
It's really a good way to say it too.
I think that's, yeah, great advice. If you weren't in mortgage banking, what would you be doing? I know it's
I
hard to imagine.
I know, but I know exactly what I would be doing. I would be teaching. I wanted to teach from a very young age, specifically in elementary school, specifically around special ed. I wanted to provide I think I just have a really great way with people, and kids, always migrated to me as I was a young teenager and babysat and things of that nature. And I just loved it. I loved dealing with, kids from all different walks of life. And I had a special connection with somebody early on in my younger years that really drew me towards special education. And that's really where I wanted to be. And I was pretty much still hung up on that, even after getting that first job on the mobile home lot. I was still pretty much, going to school and trying to, figure that out. And obviously careers get, as much as they provide, sometimes they get in the way of other things. And I ended up staying with my career and what was then my mortgage career. But you know, I I've told my husband several times, I'm like, when I retire, maybe I can go work at a school, as a substitute, or maybe I can go back. And I would even say that some of the work that I do as a leader is a lot of those same things, right? It's teaching people, it's teaching, being in front of an audience, it's describing something, it's building something, it's giving back to your community. I think a lot of what I do today still has a lot of those same fulfillment attributes, but certainly, that's what I was drawn to when I was a kid, and I still feel like that might be something I still do in this lifetime.
Yeah. Well, I will tell you that my heart is super happy this morning because as Keegan's mom, I have a 24, for those of you who don't know, I have a 24-year-old autistic son. It just warms my heart that someone like you would have a passion like that. It's just so heartwarming to hear that from you. And I will tell you that he has a great skill of he is drawn to certain people. And you are knowing you are the type of person that he would be drawn to because you are beautiful on the outside and the inside. And he naturally gravitates towards those individuals. So that makes my heart so happy that you would want to do that.
Thank you. I mean, it takes one of those experiences in life, to kind of realize that, like, I knew I was going to be a teacher. Obviously I'm not, but in some way I still am, I feel like. But it's one of those special experiences that happen early in life where you kind of just a light bulb goes off and says, this is what I want to do. And unfortunately I didn't do that, but I still feel like we've given back to community and things of that nature, to still satisfy some of those same things.
You still do have the opportunity for that in that field, especially. They're always looking for people, even if you want to participate part of the time after you retire. It's such a rewarding
Yeah,
uh, thing to do. So yeah, so how fun. That's something I didn't know about you. And that just makes me as a mom so happy. Um, Last question. I know you've got kids, and I'm sure you have some of these, so I'm excited to hear about this. What is your favorite family tradition?
That's a really great question. We traditions have changed for us recently with last year, but one of the traditions that I had with my kids on Christmas morning was when they woke up to open presents and do all of those things. My husband and I would we were already staying up late the night before, but we would stay up even later and we would be in there blowing up red and green balloons so that they just filled the area where the tree was and whatnot. And so I remember, and we just recently stopped this with my son because he just had no more interest in them. So we stopped doing that. But that was just literally last year. But all those years before with the girls and then my son, they'd come into the room and most kids run right towards the presents, and they would just run right towards the balloons, and they would be popping balloons around, and almost to a point where we're okay guys, we have to settle down. We have to go to church, so you guys have a limited amount of time to open your gifts on Christmas morning. So anyways, that's probably one of the best traditions we had. We don't do it anymore because the kids are a little bit older, but I have tons of pictures, Faith, where they're just giggling and laughing and throwing the balloons at each other and all that kind of stuff. And it's just pretty awesome thing. And I did not think of that on my own. Actually, that is a tradition that my aunt used to do with her kids when they're little. And so when I had my oldest daughter, one of the things that she had mentioned to me was are you going to do, you should do this, my kids are grown, you should do this. And so we kind of picked it up. So it lasted at least 2 generations of folks. And I'll pass it on to my kids, I guess, when they get older and have children. So
I wish I would have known that. Now I'm going to pass that on because I love that idea. I think it's great photo opportunity just to see that joy on their faces and have them interacting with each other. So I'm going to now pass that on to my grandkids because I think that's a great idea. So
yeah.
Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure talking with you. You have always been such a great contributor to our network, the industry, our women's group. And so I really value any time that I get to spend with you and appreciate you being willing to do this with me today.
Likewise, Faith. I couldn't say it any more about you. The same thing. I enjoyed my time with you and the TMC family, and I'm really looking forward to the time that we can all get together in person and actually shake a hand or give a hug and see everybody face to face. Video is great, but there's nothing like being in person. So I appreciate you thinking of me, and this was fun. Now everybody knows all my little secrets.
Yep, that is the fun part. So we appreciate you here. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you, Faith.